Hi everyone, welcome back to Carb Nerd. I'm Louise, this is Jeremy. Are you over 40, wondering about keto? Well, we're over 40 and we made it work, and you can too. So you're interested in keto? We were too. A year and a half ago, we did a ton of research. We went online, we looked at YouTube videos, much like you're probably doing today. We read some books, and we really looked into this word called macros. I still today have a hard time saying that word. It sounds far too fancy, clinical for me. But at the end of the day, you need to figure out how much fat, how much protein, how many carbs you're allowed to take in during the day on keto to be successful.
That's absolutely right. So macros are a really important part of any diet, and particularly important with keto. And what you're going to read when you go online is the traditional sort of keto macro balance is going to be 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% carbs. And that's a great starting point for just about everybody. What that's going to do is going to help you dial in your diet. It's going to help you eliminate the more offending foods that aren't allowed on keto. It's going to be things like grains, pasta, bread, certain fruits, actually most fruits, certain vegetables. But following that macro count is really, really important in the beginning. And we did exactly that, and we had great success. In fact, in the first week, we mentioned in our last video, our first week we both dropped almost 10 pounds, mostly water weight, of course, and that's just a byproduct of cutting out carbs out of your diet. You shed that extra water in your body.
So we started keto in August, and we're losing probably about 3 to 4 pounds a week. We're doing really, really well. And then right around Christmas time, the time that you don't want, we stalled. And we started to read a little bit about how that can happen on keto, and it's perfectly normal, particularly for people over 40, or in my case, and this is a hard one to say, in my case, over 50. So we started to look into how we could change things up a little bit and kind of kickstart the stall we were in. And we started reading a little bit about intermittent fasting. And at first, fasting, probably much like you, sounded like a scary thing. How can you go for hours and not eat? Actually makes things a lot easier for me. I don't worry about having to get up, having to have breakfast before a flight, before I go to work. I just really focus on what am I going to have for lunch, and it's something that I actually really look forward to.
Yeah, fasting's just a fantastic tool. It not only is it going to help you with weight loss, but it also makes your life a whole lot more simple. Instead of structuring your entire day around the sort of 6 meals that we've been programmed to eat throughout our lives with a meal, snack, meal, snack, meal, snack, you're literally just compressing all of your eating into a tighter window.
So fasting on keto is different than skipping a meal when you're not on keto. I very much was, and my poor husband knows this, if I didn't have a meal, I got what they called quote unquote hangry. Again, you're just grumpy, you don't feel like yourself, because ultimately your body, when you're not on keto, needs sugar. On keto, it's sugar-free, so it's not the same effect. You actually, on a fast, you don't get the same emotions, and for all of us women out there, we know what that's like. You don't have that same sort of feeling. You don't have that sort of really low or that really high. Your energy is constant on keto, and when you're fasting, you almost forget that you haven't had a meal because it's very consistent.
Basically what happens is, instead of your body looking for sugar to burn, as we're all used to throughout our lives, your body is now burning fat. And the really, really cool part about keto is that when you dial your fat back, your body will tap into, especially during a fast, instead of your body saying, okay, I need something that you're eating to give me energy, your body realizes that body fat stores that we all have everywhere on our body is going to be the energy that you need. So when you're going through a fast on keto, just like Louise said, when you're hungry, you feel that sort of emptiness in your stomach. The hunger sensations are completely different because you're not going to feel lightheaded, you're not going to feel weak, you're not going to feel hangry, which I was guilty of as well, and I think everybody is. It's your body is getting the energy it needs from you, from our stored body fat, and that's the whole idea behind keto. And that's, you're fat fueled, and it's through dietary fat, but it's also through stored body fat.
Okay, so we hit our stall. We started reading about intermittent fasting. We worked that into our lifestyle. We started to, again, lose some more weight, started feeling really, really good, and we hit sort of a new normal where we didn't have to feel like we needed to weigh ourselves. It was really all about how things fit. But ultimately, we realized that there was still some things that we wanted to fit differently. We wanted to lose a bit more weight. So Jeremy, again, God love him, did a bit more research and realized that there was still a bit more tweaking that we needed to do.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I read is that as we get older, we sort of store fat differently and certainly store fat more easily. For us, we were super lean, through everywhere. And then we, certainly me, had a little collection of loose skin and fat sort of around the middle, like you see most 44-year-old men will have. And so the more I read about protein intake and how it affects people of a more, we'll call it advanced age, it's important to actually up your protein from what we were taking and reduce your fat. And I know for a lot of people that are following keto, they hear, fat, so important on keto, and it 100% is. But the thing is, once you get to a point where your body is fat adapted and your body is 100% comfortable burning fat for fuel, it will choose to burn the dietary fat, so the fat that you're eating versus the body fat that you have stored around your body. So if you're taking in butter and fat bombs and all these different keto treats just because you think you have to hit this 150 grams of fat or 200 grams of fat or whatever your macro count is, you have to remember that, especially if you're over 40, your body's going to choose that dietary fat first before it taps into the body fat.
Okay, so what does more protein mean? So as we said, I was doing intermittent fasting. I was having boiled eggs with mayonnaise or a salad for lunch, and my main meal was at supper time where I would have chicken or beef along with the salad. When Jeremy really talked to me about increasing protein, that meant for me that I could actually have chicken and beef at lunch as well as at supper time, which was really a good thing and helped me hit the increased protein that we wanted on a daily basis. All right, so you heard how we made keto work for us. I think it's really important that you make it work for you too, whether you're over 40 or like me over 50 and you're trying keto and you may have stalled, just don't give up. You can certainly do it too. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. We've had success and nothing makes us happier than seeing people try keto and figure out a way to make it work for them.
Yeah, definitely. It can be a struggle when you're a little bit older, and we realize it as well. Your body just stores fat differently as an older person. Over 40, over 50, like Louise said, your body's going to be more willing to store the fat that you're taking in. So don't be afraid to play around with your macros. Don't be afraid to experiment. That's how we found our success, is just toying around with things, doing some research and finding out what adjusting your protein level and dropping your fat level, what the outcomes will be with that.
All right, so that's how we made keto work for us. You can certainly make it work for you. Your success is our success. Don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up. You can find us, obviously, as you did here on YouTube under Carb Nerd. We're also on Instagram. Send us a DM if you have any questions. Like we said, we're more than happy to help anybody who may have stalled, who has any questions about how to make keto work for them. We're here to help you.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Take care.